Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is January 17th, 2025, and Barcelona are negotiating with a new major sponsor. I'm going to tell you all the details. Also, Hansi Flick has equaled one of Luis Enrique's records. And finally, Barcelona have announced a new signing, and I'm going to tell you who it is. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Boo. And today we'll begin with the news that Barcelona are currently negotiating with a new major sponsor. But before we talk about the sponsor, just a quick reminder that tomorrow Barcelona are playing against Real Sociedad in their stadium. And of course, I will be doing the watch along. So for those of you who want to watch the match with me, please join me. It's always a good time to watch the match with all of you lovely Barca News family. Anyways, let's get back to the news because, as I've mentioned, Barcelona are currently negotiating with a major sponsor, and that sponsor will be replacing the UNHCR logo at the back of the kit, which goes right under the number of the player wearing it. Now, since 2012, Barcelona signed that spot was reserved to kind of like charity organizations. First, it was UNICEF that Barcelona signed with until in 2012. And then in 2022, Barcelona signed with UNHCR, which, of course, is the UN agency that helps refugees around the world. UNICEF, of course, being the UN agency that helps children around the world. But now that the deal with UNHCR will be expiring in the summer, Barcelona will be looking to replace them with another sponsor. Now, since this is more of a charity sponsorship, Barcelona weren't actually receiving money from UNHCR. They were actually paying them 400,000 euros a year, like a donation, 400,000 euro a year. And now Barcelona will be replacing UNHCR with a sponsor. We don't know who it is, but they're saying it's someone linked to emerging economic markets. And this would not be, philanthropic sponsorship. This would be, a sponsor who's going to be paying a lot of money. They're saying Barcelona have received a significant financial offer from this brand, which again, it's linked to emerging economic markets. Now, there is an upcoming extraordinary General Assembly that will be held on January 22nd, which is when Barcelona will decide when the elections will be held. And during that assembly Barcelona will be voting on this new sponsor. Again, we don't know who it is, but I'm sure more information will come out in the next few days. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you hit the bell button so you get a notification every time I upload a video. Because, of course, as soon as we find out, I will be here to tell you all about who will be the new sponsor. Now, so far, Barcelona have, of course, extended the contract with Nike, with Spotify. Next season, Midea will replace Ambilight on the sleeve. And now we'll have a new sponsor on the back of the kit. So 4 sponsors right there concerning the kit that will generate a lot of money for Barcelona. Now, I got to say, on one hand, it does kind of suck that we're replacing, a philanthropic sponsor with one that pays money. But at that same time, I understand. I mean, we're in a terrible financial situation, so it makes sense to make this move. Hopefully, later on, when the club is more financially healthy, more financially stable, we can go back to, donating to other charities. Anyways, on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Hansi Flick has equaled Luis Enrique's record at Barcelona. And that record has to do with straight wins or wins in a row. Now, of course, Barcelona did defeat Racing de Santander 0-2 on Thursday. And that became Hansi Flick's 11th win in a row, equalizing Luis Enrique's record from the 2014-2015 treble campaign. Now, this is pretty impressive because let's not forget, Luis Enrique, when he set that record of 11 victories in a row, had, of course, the MSN, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. So Flick equalizing that record, well, without the MSN, not to, with all due respect, of course, to Lewy, Coutinho, Lamine. They're not the MSN in their prime, right? So the fact that Flick can do that is pretty impressive. Now, the all-time record for Barcelona is currently held by Rijkaard, where in the 2005-2006 season achieved 18 victories in a row. In second place is Pep Guardiola in the 2010-2011 season, where he achieved 16 victories in a row, and now Flick has 11. So Flick still has time, of course, to equalize, and who knows, maybe even break those records. Now, the all-time record in Spain is held by Ancelotti with 22 victories in a row. Now, on to that next bit of news, because Barcelona have announced a new signing that has already played. Things are moving quickly, and it's no other than Joaquin Delgado. Now, Joaquin Delgado is a 23-year-old center forward who has joined Barca Athletic from Betusa. Betusa is the reserve team of Real Oviedo. Real Oviedo are currently playing in First Division, and their reserve team, so the equal of Barca Athletic, is Betusa. And Joaquin Delgado has joined Barca Athletic from Betusa on a 6-month loan until the end of the season. Now, Joaquin Delgado is someone who is known for his goal-scoring abilities. In fact, this season so far, he has scored 14 goals in 16 matches. And last season, he was the top scorer with 23 goals. And here is the kicker. He just signed for Barca Athletic, and today Barca Athletic started him against Andratex. Anyways, he literally just signed for Barca Athletic. He started today, and he already scored his first goal in Barca Athletic's victory 4-0. So, Joaquin Delgado, ladies and gentlemen, just arrived, already starting, already scored goals. Hopefully, he'll be able to continue scoring goals with Barca Athletic, and hopefully Barca Athletic will be able to get promoted back into third division. All right, we will end today's video with the news that one player who Barcelona have been checking will not be scoring goals at Barcelona, and that's because Barcelona are set to miss out on the signing of the Brazilian gem, Rayan. Now, Rayan is someone we talked about in the channel for quite some time. I think the first time we talked about him was a year or 2 years ago, but he's a 19-year-old winger who can also play as a center forward, currently plowing his trade at Vasco da Gama in Brazil. Barcelona have been watching him for quite some time. In fact, Deco recommended to Barcelona that they signed Rayan before Deco even became the sporting director of the club. And once Deco became the sporting director of the club, of course, him and his group of scouters were watching Rayan and tracking Rayan for quite some time. Of course, Rayan did also attract the attention of other European clubs like FC Porto and Bayern Munich. But now Rayan has signed with is set to sign with another club, one that's in the Premier League, and it's no other than Bournemouth. Now, it looks like Rayan has already reached an agreement with Bournemouth, a personal agreement with Bournemouth on the salary and all that. So now he has communicated to his club, Vasco da Gama, to please start negotiating his transfer with Bournemouth. So it looks like Barcelona will be missing out on Rayan. Now, it's reported that Bournemouth could pay 30 to 35 million euros for Rayan. Barcelona are very aware of this deal, and they've decided that they're not going to be entering into this race. They're aware of this. They were interested, but they're okay with the player going to the Premier League. Anyways, that is all for this video. I did upload another video a few moments ago. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, cars.